think it's safe to say you definitely don't want to be short on this market. I have just found the craziest chart you guys need to see. This is going to confirm that we are definitely going up some more. Also, we got some pretty big announcement right now from Mr. Donald Trump, and that is why markets are starting to move to the upside. If you want to stay ahead of the market and be in front of everyone else, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We talk about crypto every single day here on the 2-Bit Crypto channel. With that being said, let's get into this video. So I'll go a little bit deeper, but this is breaking news literally as I'm recording this video. So just in, President Trump agrees to delay 50% on the EU, until July 9th. Obviously, markets are reacting very favorably. 108, 500. We'll take a look at the charts in just a minute. But this is very bullish news. It does beg the question, though, is all this just a big game? Now, there has been a Supreme Court ruling, I believe, in the US, which kind of allows the potential for Jerome Powell to be sacked by Donald Trump. I don't think that's going to play out, but it's certainly maybe something Jerome Powell wants to think about. He obviously talked today specifically around monetary policy and kind of what the US is doing. But the reality is this delay on these tariffs, well, kind of feels a little bit like the whole China thing as well. So this is an interesting one, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about why I think the price of Bitcoin is going to go up significantly over the course of the next couple of weeks. Well, here's one big reason: massive institutional buying. In fact, looking at some of the big holders of our top BTC ETFs, particularly Fidelity and BlackRock. So the number one hedge fund holding Fidelity is something called Jane Street Group. It's also known for global force in quantitative trading and liquidity provisioning, i.e. they fund exchanges or they fund VCs or whatever it is. They make sure that, well, capital continues to flow. Jane Street leads the pack, trailing just behind the New York-based Millennium Management LLC, the major player in the alternative investment world. As of March, Jane Street held 7,239,363 FBT shares, including 358,000 calls and 119,000 puts, i.e. they are looking for an upside and potentially downside, although the upside is a 2-to-1 ratio. Very bullish indeed. They are obviously expecting significant uptrends when it comes to these ETFs. Now, look at BlackRock. It's very interesting over here as well. You got a top hedge fund in BlackRock iShares known as Bevan Howard Capital Management. Now, this firm holding 21.5 million IBIT shares. That's actually down. They sold a little bit off. No surprise when we saw the correction back in 2024. 25.5 million was their top. Now, this is a significantly important point. They hold such a huge amount, including Goldman Sachs, dropping in at around 30 million, of which 23.3 are held directly, 1.4 on the calls options, and 6 million on puts. So what does it tell us? And I guess, how does this relate back to your cryptocurrency holdings? Well, this tells us that institutional investment has never been as strong, and the fact that there is a huge sum of money sat in, and more importantly, who is holding them? Big liquidity providing, big pocketed, deep pocketed financial markets. And I think this is really important to think about how Goldman Sachs, as well as Howard Capital Management, all of these are very big on Bitcoin. Why? Well, you've got crazy things like Michael Saylor buying more Bitcoin. There has to be a rationale as to why this business is so successful. And the reality is people want some more action. We're seeing just huge amounts of money flow into this market, of which really people don't understand. And I think this is why we're going to see a big move. Now, there's also a bit of technicals. Let's talk about it. This is a very interesting chart. You may or may not have seen this before, but what it does is track the previous move of Bitcoin, in particular the price and also the end of day. It also follows the moving average of the 200-day, which is the big orange line moving in the middle. Now, what it does is project potential price movements and, more importantly, the flow of Bitcoin. What can we see? Well, currently we see the top coming in at about 111.7, but the projection is a slight cool off as we move into the next month of June. We could see a retracement back down, maybe on the moving average up to around 97. I talked about that on my live stream before blasting off to a potential market top. Guess when? And for many of you that have been here on the channel, you'll probably know. October. This is what it's playing out like. This absolutely could be where we see the market top come in before we see the correction into the bear market before moving again once to the upside. So this is all very positive, but this is why a lot of traders are going short on the market. And equally, that big whale James Wynn that we've been talking about for a while has closed his position. Now, it depends how you like this or not. Unfortunately, he did actually close for a significant loss. In fact, his P&L running over the last 24 hours, a negative $23 million. Pretty challenging indeed. However, watch out because the market is on the turn. Now, I talked about this on my live stream. We are perfectly printing new higher highs as we continue up in this market. And it looks like we're going to do exactly the same again as this market continues to move to the upside. We retested perfectly here at around 106,000, and it does look like a bounce. Now, the markets are slow with Memorial Day, etc. in the weekend here in the UK, but watch out. I think this week could be pretty interesting. We have PCE coming Friday, Jerome Powell from the FOMC minutes are coming on Tuesday, and also we've got obviously all this tariff easing, which could be very optimistic for the market once the financial markets open, which will be in a couple of hours for things like China and the Malaysian market. So keep your eyes peeled, but let me know what your market predictions are. I want to know what you think Bitcoin's going to, because it looks like October could be the market cycle top. Let me know when you think it is. Let me know when you're going into stablecoin, and I might just come with you. As always, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget that like and subscribe button to keep up to date with all of the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency. And until next time, thanks so much. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.